Welcome, everybody. My name is Lindsay, and I have a gentle yoga class for us today that will stretch and strengthen the full body. We'll be spending a little bit of time working into the core, so not just the front of the body, but all the way around the side and the back, just for general strength and stability. And towards the end of the class, I will be leading a stretch that uses a strap. Again, you can use something like a belt, a towel, a shirt, whatever, but we'll be using that later on. So we will get our practice started today with some breath work. So we'll find our comfortable seated position. Again, maybe cross-legged is what you would like to sit in today, or maybe something a little easier on the knees, keeping the knees pointed up towards the sky and the feet planted. Is finding something that works for you. And we'll begin our practice just by noticing that area through the middle of the body as the spine draws up from the kind of the hips, running along the back up to the base of the skull. We'll feel nice and tall through the spine, starting to engage the lower belly, lifting ourselves up just a little bit more, and we'll start to broaden the collarbones and draw the shoulders down. A slight tuck in the chin will help the back of the neck grow just a little bit longer. And from this position, we'll start to become aware of our breath, keeping that subtle engagement through the belly and the broadness through the collarbones. Just noticing the breath that we arrived with today. Noticing that in and out breath. We'll start to lengthen out the breaths, allowing the inhale and the exhale to become a little bit more expansive, starting to breathe into the upper lobes and the lower lobes of the lungs, while still keeping a gentle engagement of the lower belly. Feeling that expansion, that lengthening action of the breath. Keeping the shoulders nice and soft here. And with this long, slow, steady breath, we'll take a moment and just feel into the body, feeling into the different sensations of both the physical body as well as the mental or spiritual body, feeling how we are feeling today. And instead of maybe settling on a particular area that might be calling out to you, we'll spend an equal amount of time focused on each of the different physical areas, as well as our mental, spiritual body. Just checking in. We're making note, aiming to release any judgment that we might have around these feelings or these sensations. And just allowing it to be what it is in this moment. Now, the breath that I will be introducing us to today is an alternate nostril breathing, or Nadi Shodhana breath, and can be very balancing for the body, very calming for the nervous system. I took a few rounds of breath in this before we started class today. I feel like the wind and kind of the transition into spring kind of stirs up my emotions. So This was a nice balancing, calming practice for me. So the alternate nostril breath, we will use our right hand and we'll use our thumb and our ring finger. So you can choose to either close the index and middle finger, or we can use those fingers and place them on our third eye, or the place between our eyebrows. So either, let's go a little closer, placing this here, it's a little calming spot, or you can close those fingers if that feels better and just not use them. So I'll place them on my forehead. I just like that method. And we'll start by closing the right nostril with the thumb and exhaling out completely through the left nostril. And then we'll bring the ring finger to the left nostril, open up the thumb, and we'll take a full round of breath, inhaling through the right nostril and exhaling through the right nostril. And then we'll switch, placing the thumb over the right, lifting the left, inhaling fully, exhaling fully. At the bottom of the exhale, we'll switch sides, inhaling fully, exhaling fully. Switching. We'll switch again. We'll switch again. Beginning to find your own rhythm of the inhale and exhale. At the bottom of the exhale, you'll switch sides. We'll take another full minute here, practicing our alternate nostril breathing at your own pace, finding your own rhythm. Fantastic. We'll release our final exhale wherever you are. And we'll bring the hand back down towards the lap. Taking a few moments with the eyes closed, breathing through both nostrils, long and slow. Checking back in with our physical, mental, spirit bodies, just feeling what we are feeling. Great work. We'll blink the eyes back open. Oh, roll the shoulders forward, up, back and down, bringing some movement into the body. Taking a few rounds of rolls like that. And we'll take the alternate crossing in the legs. If you've got the legs crossed, give the feet a little wiggle. Great work. So today we'll work into the back of the neck. We'll start by drawing small circles with the nose on the opposite wall. Like we're outlining a small teacup with our nose. Noticing what you are feeling as we take the circles larger to a salad plate. Keeping the lower belly engaged here as we make these movements in our seated posture. We'll then open up a little bit more to a dinner plate. Noticing any tight spots or tension in the neck. Then we'll take the circles to the largest size, like we're outlining a symbol or a gong. Noticing those spots that might feel just a little tight today, maybe a little tender. And using our long, slow breath to imagine those muscles softening and releasing. Great work. Let's reverse the direction of the circles. Starting with the largest size first, outlining that gong shape. We'll take the circles to the dinner plate size. Move to the salad plate. And then back down to our teacup. Fantastic. Pausing those circles there. We'll bring the fingers to the shoulders, drawing our circles with our elbows. We'll start by pulling the elbows together in front of us, drawing the gaze down towards the elbows. With the inhale, we'll lift the elbows, lift the gaze up. Now as we exhale, open the elbows out wide, meet back down at the bottom, drawing the elbows together, drawing the gaze down. Inhale, lift the elbows up, lift the gaze up. Exhale, open out and then down. Taking these at the pace of your breath, the inhale to lift up, look up. Exhale, open out and down. Great work. One more of those. Inhale to lift up, look up. Exhale, open out and down. Great work. We'll stack ourselves up again, nice and tall. Roll the shoulders forward, up, back and down. Working a little bit more into the shoulders and the neck area. We'll draw the chin down towards the chest. And we'll bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Looking for kind of that tight spot on the left side. And just pausing here for a moment, re-engaging the muscles of the lower belly. Take a round of breath here, just noticing that spot, aiming to soften and release that spot. Then we'll extend the left arm out towards the left side of the mat. Fingertips hover over the floor. Noticing how that sensation changed when we extended the arm. And then we'll start to wiggle those left fingers. Great work. Pausing the finger wiggle, start to draw our figure eights. Drawing figure eights with the left arm at a pace and a size that works best for you today. Stay connected with your breath and with that sensation in your lower core. Then we'll pause our figure eights. Flexing the left fingers up towards the sky, we'll press the left palm towards the left side of the room. With a gentle bend in that left elbow, press the left hand away, lengthening the space between the top of the shoulder and the left ear. Great work. As we exhale, releasing the arm back down towards the lap, and we'll lift the head to neutral. Roll the shoulders a few times forward, up, back, and down. Great. And then we'll pause, re-engaging the belly, lengthening the spine. We'll draw the chin back towards the chest, and then we'll bring the left ear towards the left shoulder. Finding that sweet spot on the right side of the neck, maybe taking a few gentle movements to find exactly where you'd like to settle. And then when you find that spot, take that long, slow breath. Softening, just allowing the shoulder to drop down just a little bit more. Great. We'll extend the right arm out towards the right side of the mat. Fingertips hover over the floor. Feeling that spread across the chest. Great. We'll start to wiggle those right fingers. Fantastic. Pausing that finger wiggle. Start to draw the figure eights again. Fantastic. Starting to pause those figure eights. We'll take a gentle bend in the right elbow. Press the right palm towards the right side of the room. Flex the fingers up towards the ceiling and press. Lengthening the side of the neck. Keeping the shoulders lowered down. Great work. As we exhale, lower the hand back down towards the lap, lift the head back up to neutral. We'll roll the shoulders again, a few times forward, up, back, and down. Fantastic. Pausing those shoulder rolls, we'll move into our barrel roll. With the hands on the knees, we'll start to swing the torso around and drop back like we're scraping at the inside of a barrel with our back and our belly. And we'll start to warm up the core here. As you swing forward, let the belly be soft. And as you draw back, pull the tummy in, draw that belly button in towards the spine. And we'll swing around. Great work. Let's reverse the direction of the barrel rolls. Fantastic. We'll finish up our final barrel roll here, stacking ourselves up nice and tall. Great work. We'll take the legs and we will uncross them, extend them out nice and long for a moment, pointing and flexing the toes, rolling out the ankles. Switch this way. Getting some blood flow down there into the legs. You might feel a sensation in the joints. And we'll come back to stillness, finding our Dandasana staff pose, flexing the toes up towards the sky, engaging the muscles of the legs, thighs, the lower belly. Reach the hands down by the hips, press the palms into the floor, lengthen the spine, keeping the belly engaged, lifting the top of the head towards the sky, slight tuck of the chin, feel the shoulders spread. Great work. As we exhale, soften and release that engagement. We'll bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, coming into our bound angle pose. And finding some movements to get the sitting bones grounded down into the floor a little bit more. Grabbing onto the ankles around the big toe area, we'll take a few flutters of the knees up and down, just getting ourselves kind of settled into this position, warming up through the hips. Great work. We'll start to pause that flutter. Grabbing onto somewhere on the feet or the ankles, we'll lift ourselves up nice and tall, drawing the belly in, draw the shoulder blades down, that gentle tuck of the chin, stretching through the tops of the shoulders. Draw the belly in, feel yourself nice and tall. Draw the chin towards the chest, and we'll take a few half circles in the head, bringing the right ear towards the right shoulder, left ear towards left shoulder. Continuing with these half circles. Pausing in any spot that feels maybe needed for some extra time, some extra breath. Great. Starting to pause those movements. We'll stack ourselves up again, nice and tall. We'll take this bound ankle pose and we'll turn it into a twist. We'll walk the right hand back behind the hips, press the right hand down into the floor, keep the spine nice and tall, and we'll bring the left hand over to the right knee. Keeping a little engagement through the belly, we'll exhale, twist over towards that right side. Keep the spine nice and long here, gazing over the right shoulder. Great. Then with the exhale, slowly release, passing back through center. Grabbing onto the feet of the ankles, we'll lengthen the spine again. Then we'll walk the left hand back behind the hips, planting into the floor with that left hand. Draw the belly in, feel nice and long through the spine, and then walk the right hand over to the left knee. Gazing over that left shoulder. Stay connected with your breath. Great work. We'll slowly unwind. Coming back to center, grabbing onto the ankles or around the feet, the toe area. Draw the shoulders down, draw the belly in, lengthen the spine. Moving into our forward fold, we'll exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hips, bending the elbows out towards the knees, leaning the torso forward, lengthening through the middle, lower back, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then we can hinge no more, slowly start to round down over the toes, allowing everything to soften and release. In this forward fold position, taking maybe a few moments to nod the head yes and no. Great work. Coming back into stillness, we'll draw the lower belly in, and with the exhale, begin to ragdoll yourself all the way back up to seated. Stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae, nice and slow. We'll bring the knees back together. Walking the feet out just a little bit and a little wider. We'll bring the hands back behind the hips and take some windshield wipers of the knees. Fantastic. Pausing the windshield wiper. We'll walk the hands back behind the hips just a little bit more, either coming up onto your knuckles or planting the palms with the fingers towards the hips. Moving into our boat pose. Broaden the collarbones, draw the lower belly in. Keep the hands planted here. As we exhale, lift one shin and then the other shin up towards the sky. Keeping that lower belly drawing in. Keep the hands planted here. Keep breathing nice and steady. Today we're going to practice alternately straightening the legs. So kicking the toes up towards the sky. And release. Building strength in our hip flexors here. You might have straight-legged boat in your practice already, and if that's the case, you can just extend both sets of toes up towards the sky. Just keep breathing, keeping the lower belly drawing in, whether you're alternating, kicking the toes up towards the sky, or you've got both feet extended towards the ceiling. All's good. Great work. With your next exhale, slowly lower the feet back down towards the floor, rising back up, grab onto the backs of the thighs. We'll take our seated cat-cow movements. As you inhale, push the chest forward, lift the gaze up. And with the exhale, draw the belly in, rounding the spine, gazing towards the navel. Inhale, rising up, looking up. Exhale, rounding, gazing towards the navel. Last time, inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down. Great work. Rising ourselves back up. This time we'll take the boat pose with our hands bound on the thighs. Start to straighten the elbows, lowering the torso back, drawing the belly in. As you are ready, we'll lift the shins up towards the sky, finding that balanced spot on the sitting bones. And again, we'll practice alternating, lifting and lowering the feet. Or if you'd like, extending both toes towards the ceiling, nice and straight in the legs. And second round, you might release the hands from the thighs and extend the arms out nice and long. Just keep the shoulders pulling back and down, collarbones nice and broad, belly draws in, and the breath moves in nice and slow. Great. Our next exhale, grab back onto the thighs, lower the feet, take our seated cat-cow. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, roll down. Now lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, roll down. Last one, inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, gazing towards the navel. Coming back to our neutral stance, we'll take a fish pose variation, extending the legs out nice and long in front of you. We'll walk the hands back behind us again, fingers point towards the hips. If this feels uncomfortable on the wrists, again, you can come up onto the knuckles, or if that's still maybe feeling a little too much, you can come down onto your forearms for this pose. So either way, up or down. We'll start by pointing the toes towards the short edge of the mat, spreading the collarbones nice and broad, feeling that width in the chest. Draw the lower belly in, squeeze the muscles of the glutes. With the exhale, push into the heels, begin to lift the hips up towards the sky. Push the hips, push the chest up, lift the gaze up towards the sky. Keeping that engagement through the head. Don't let the head fall back. Looking up towards the sky. One more push here. And then exhale, lower everything back down towards the floor. Nice work. Rock yourself back up to seated. We'll find our Dandasana staff pose again. Flex the toes up towards the sky. Press the palms down into the floor. Lengthen the spine. Feel nice and tall here. Take a breath. Great work. We'll soften and release that engagement of our staff pose and roll over the legs, coming into our tabletop. Stacking the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. And when we find our position, we'll start to move into our bear pose, starting to move organically through the body, like a bear coming out of hibernation, just giving yourself some time to move and stretch through the back and the front of the body. You might find a forward fold, you might find a back bend, you might find just some wiggling organic movements, like you're dancing on your hands and your knees. Great work. We'll start to pause our bear. And working in through our core stabilizing muscles today, we'll take a variation of our 50-50 plank or bird dog pose. Finding our nice flat back, we'll push the palms into the floor, feel the sternum lift away from the ground. Starting by extending the left leg out back behind us, we'll lift the heel in line with the spine, keeping the belly drawn in and the back nice and flat. We'll start to get light in the right hand. Extending the right arm out, nice and long in front of us, gazing in a non-moving spot, breathing here. Okay, so either choosing to stay here, or as we exhale, pull the elbow and the knee underneath the body, squeezing them in. And then extend them out nice and long. Now we'll open the leg out towards the left, the arm out towards the right. We're getting a little cattywampus here. And then we'll bring the arm and the leg back to center. Squeeze the elbow and the knee underneath the body. Extend out nice and long. Open out towards the sides. Pull them back to center line. Squeeze the elbow and the knee together. Last time, inhale, extend out. And then open to the sides. Great work. Pull them back to center line. Plant the hand, plant the knee. And we'll take child's pose, bringing the hips over the heels. Resting through the upper body. Give the hands a little bit of movement, maybe rolling out the wrists. You might even massage that left wrist and forearm. Taking some breaths here. Reconnect with your breath, slow it down and smooth it out. We'll lift the gaze back up towards the fingertips. Press into the palms. We'll rise back up. Tabletop position. Press the mat away. Feel the sternum lift. Draw the belly in. We'll take those movements on the other side. Starting by extending the right leg out back behind you, and then kick that leg in line with the hips. Draw the belly in. Feel that flatness in the back of the body. Staring at a non-moving spot. Start to get light in those left hands. As you're ready, extending the arm out in front of you. Left arm out. Great work. Again, either choosing to stay here, or if you'd like, we'll draw the elbow and the knee together underneath the body, squeezing them in nice and slow. And then open back out, nice and long. We'll open the arm and the leg out towards the sides of the mat. Kicking the leg out, kicking the arm out, and bring them back into center line. Elbow and the knee come back together, squeezing in. Extend the arm and the leg out, nice and long. Open the arm and the leg out towards the sides. Great work. Arm and leg back to center line. Squeeze the elbow and the knee together underneath the body. Inhale, extend out. Last one. Open out towards the sides. Great. Pull it back into center line. Place the hands and the knee back on the floor and take child's pose. Stretching in through the back. Great work. Giving those wrists again a little bit of movement, maybe that manual massage. Great work. Staying nice and low here in our child's pose, we'll begin to walk the hands over to the left side of the mat. Staying low, stretching in through that right side of the body. Allow the head to be nice and heavy here. We'll bring the hands back through center, then over to the right side of the mat. Fantastic. Coming back to center. We'll push into the palms. Rise ourselves back up into tabletop. From here, we'll take plank, extending the legs back out nice and long, both of them behind you. Lower the hips in line with the shoulders, so it might be a little lowering. Plant the palms underneath the shoulders, push into the palms, so the sternum lifts away from the floor. Keep the belly drawing in, breathing here, stretching in through the backs of the legs. keeping the whole core nice and tight, keeping the belly drawing in towards the spine. Absolutely beautiful work, everybody. And as we exhale, push the hips up towards the sky, using that core strength, finding our downward facing dog. Maybe finding a new placement of the feet if that's more comfortable. Maybe rechecking in with the palms, planting everything down in a placement that feels nice. Hands are about shoulders distance apart, feet are about hips distance apart or 2 knuckles distance. And as we are in this downward facing dog, let's take some time to pedal the feet, stretching out through the backs of the legs. Allow the head to be nice and heavy here. Great work. We'll start to walk the hands and the feet towards each other, coming into a forward fold. Feet again about hips distance apart, 2 knuckles distance apart. Taking the weight out of the hands, just enjoying a gentle dangle here in our forward fold. You might grab opposite elbows, just sway softly from side to side, stretching out through the length of the spine. Great work. Releasing opposite elbows here, increasing the bends in the knees, draw the lower belly in. As we exhale, begin to ragdoll yourself all the way up to standing, stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Head comes up last. Roll the shoulders forward, up, back and down, finding our standing Tadasana mountain pose. Planting the feet down, extend the fingers towards the floor. Feel the belly engage, lengthen the spine, feel nice and firm here. Take a long, slow round of breath, reconnect with that breath. Great work. Well, inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lift the gaze up. Exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips. Placing the hands on the shins, inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way back up to standing, lifting the arms up, lifting the gaze up. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Inhale, lift the arms up, lift the gaze up. Exhale, open up the arms, swan back forward, hinge from the hips. Place the hands on the shins, inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Take a nice deep bend in the knees, sit the hips down like you're sitting down into a chair. We'll squeeze the muscles of the glutes, keep the hips parallel to each other, draw the lower belly in. We'll inhale, start to lift the chest up off the legs, lift the arms up overhead, finding our chair pose. Taking a moment here, sink the hips down just a little bit more. Feel the belly draw in. Lengthen the tailbone down towards the floor, feeling long through the middle of the back, the lower back. Reach the arms up just a little bit more. Now exhale, rise to stand. Hands come to heart center. Great work on that chair pose. Great work. From standing, we'll find chair pose. With the exhale, push the hips back behind you. Sorry. Reach the arms up overhead. Pressing into the feet, drop the tailbone down. Great work. Inhale, rise to stand. Beautiful work. Okay, fantastic. Take a breath, extend the fingers down towards the floor, finding your Tadasana mountain pose, feeling that warmth through the legs, through the core, through the arms, the chest. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lift the gaze up. Exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips. Placing the hands on the shins, inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, sit the hips back, find chair pose. Inhale, lift the arms, the chest, the gaze up, look up, lift up. Exhale, rise to stand. From this standing position, we'll plant down through that right foot. Squeeze the right thigh, squeeze the right glute. Press that right foot into the floor, nice and firm. We'll come up onto the left toes. Taking a moment here to find that balance in the right leg. And as we exhale, we'll lift the left knee up. And then extend the left leg back behind us. Plant the toe, plant the heel. We'll find our warrior one today. So we're planting that back foot so that the left toes point towards the front of the mat or towards the upper left corner of the mat. Right foot, heel toes out towards the side just a little bit. And we'll start to bend nice and deep into that right knee. Tucking the tailbone down, draw the belly in, feel nice and tall through the spine. We'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Reaching the arms up, finding that warrior one. Great work. Feeling that lengthening action through the spine. We'll bring the hands back down behind us, interlacing the knuckles behind the hips. Moving into our humble warrior, draw the knuckles down, spread through the chest, lift ourselves up nice and high, giving a little back bend here. And then as we exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hips, lifting the knuckles up towards the sky, leaning the torso over that right leg, lifting the knuckles up towards the sky. As you come into your humble warrior, allow the head to be nice and soft here. Lowering yourself down, slow. Beautiful work. Draw the lower belly in. We'll exhale, rise ourselves all the way back up to standing. Release the bind to the hands, reach the arms up one more time. Warrior one. Great work. As we inhale, straighten the front knee, bring the hands to heart center. Draw the lower belly in, lift and lengthen the spine. As we exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hips, keeping the legs straight here, not hyperextended, but straight. Push the right hip back as we draw the left hip forward just a little bit, keeping the hips parallel to the short edge of the mat. Keep hinging forward. As you're ready, reach the hands down towards the thigh, the calves, or maybe towards the floor. Moving into our Parsvottanasana. Allow the spine to become soft here. Relaxing, releasing the torso over the leg. We'll draw the lower belly in again. As we exhale, rise ourselves all the way back up to standing. Bring the hands to heart center, little bend in that right knee. Hinge forward from the hips, leaning the torso forward. We'll push into that right leg, lift the left leg up, and then draw it to the top of the mat, rising ourselves back up to standing. Extend the fingers down towards the floor. Lengthen through the spine. Feel nice and tall here. Reconnect with your breath. Taking some time to feel the difference between the right and the left side. Great work. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lift the gaze up. If you exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips. Coming all the way down into our forward fold. Place the hands on the shins, inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Another chair pose here, bend the knees, sit the hips back. We'll inhale, lift the arms, the chest, the gaze up, look up, lift up. And exhale, rise to stand, hands come down through heart center. Great work. We'll plant down through the left foot, squeeze the left thigh, squeeze the left glute. Finding that non-moving spot, we'll start to get light in the right foot, coming up onto those right toes. Drawing the belly in, might start to lift that right knee up. With the exhale, extend the right leg back behind you, plant the toe, plant the heel. Finding that warrior one position, the back foot points towards the short edge of the mat. The toes and the heels are planted, and the right toes point towards the upper right corner of the mat. Start to heel toe, maybe that left foot out towards the left side of the mat. We'll take a nice deep bend in the left knee. Stacking the knee over the ankle. Pivot the hips so that they shine towards the short edge of the mat. Draw the belly in, lift and lengthen the spine, just growing a little taller here. We'll inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Feeling that lengthening, feeling that engagement. Keeping our breath moving steady in and out. Great work. Now we'll take the hands down and interlace the fingers behind the hips. Take the opposite interlace this time, kind of the awkward interlace. We'll draw the knuckles down, poof the chest forward, lift the gaze up towards the sky. And then as we exhale, coming into our humble warrior, hinge forward from the hips, leaning the torso forward, lifting the knuckles up towards the sky. Hinging, 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 hinging. Staying nice and strong through the core. Lift the knuckles up towards the sky. Keep the engagement through the head, through the neck, lengthening through the spine. Great work. We'll draw the lower belly in, and as we exhale, lift the torso back up. We'll release the bind to the hands, extend the hands back up towards the sky. One more warrior. 1. Great work. As we inhale, straighten the front knee, hands come to heart center. Moving into our Parsvottanasana, keeping the legs straight but not hyperextended. Hips point towards the short edge of the mat. You might even pull that left hip back as you push the right hip forward just a little bit, keeping ourselves more angled towards the front of the mat. As we exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hips, lengthening the spine, leaning forward with the heart. As you're ready, place the hands down on the thighs, the calves, or reaching down towards the floor. Start to lengthen the spine and then soften and release the torso over the leg. Allow the head to be nice and heavy here, finding that maybe gentle movement in the head and the neck, if that's okay for the balance. Great work. We'll draw the lower belly in. Slowly rise yourself all the way back up to standing. Hand comes to heart center. Taking a gentle bend in that left knee. Hinge forward from the hips again. Push through that left foot. Bring the right foot up and to the top of the mat. Planting the feet down. Extend the fingers down towards the floor. Finding your Tadasana mountain pose. Extending the fingers down towards the floor. Taking a moment here, maybe closing the eyes and reconnect with your breath. Fantastic. Blink the eyes back open. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lift the gaze up. Exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. One more chair, bend the knees, sit the hips back. Inhale, lift the arms, the chest, the gaze up, look up, lift up. Exhale, rise to stand, hands come to heart center. Great work. We'll move into our eagle pose next. So finding that hips distance in the legs, lengthen through the spine. We'll extend the right arm out in front of us. Take a bend in the right elbow, lifting the palm up towards the sky. Draw the elbow a little closer towards center line and down, so the palm's in front of the face. And then we'll wrap the left elbow underneath the right. Starting to bring the backs of the hands towards each other, maybe the palms of the hands towards each other. Drawing the elbows down, feeling that spread through the back of the body. So you might choose to stay here today, just working into the upper body, maybe even drawing the chin down towards the chest and stretching in through the neck. Or keeping the head neutral, you might choose to take another chair pose here, bending the knees, pushing the hips back. Sitting down with the arms bound in eagle. Feeling the spread through the chest, draw the tailbone down, feel that pressing in the legs, that squeezing, drawing the belly in. Great work. Our next exhale, slowly rise to stand, releasing the bind of the arms, lift the arms back up overhead. And then exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Great work. Taking that on the other side, extend the left arm out in front of us, bending the left elbow. Pull the elbow in towards the center and then the palm down towards the center of the face. Wrap the right elbow underneath the left. Start to bring the backs of the hands towards each other, maybe the palms of the hands towards each other. Draw the elbows down, feel the shoulder blades spread. Keep the lower belly engaged here. Now again, you've got the option of just standing here, stretching in through the arms. It's not a just, but you get to focus on just the shoulders. Or if you would like, begin to bend the knees, push the hips back, finding chair pose in the lower body. Great work, breathing steady in and out here. With your exhale, pushing into the feet, rising to stand, releasing the bind of the arms, lift the arms all the way back up overhead. Now with our exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips, coming all the way back down into our forward fold. Taking it nice and slow here, moving slow, 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 slow. Forward fold. Take a moment here, grabbing opposite elbows, just releasing the lower back, taking a gentle rock from side to side. Release opposite elbows, increasing the bends in the knees. We'll plant the hands at the top of the mat and extend the legs out nice and long, finding our plank pose again. Press the mat away, draw the belly in, feel that engagement running through the front, the back of the body, the stretch of the legs, maybe noticing a difference between the first plank and this plank that we did. Breathe here. Great work. Then we'll bend the knees down towards the floor, untuck the toes, bend the elbows, lower ourselves all the way down towards the floor through our half push-up, lowering ourselves down nice and slow, all the way down, coming to rest on our belly. Great work. From here, press into the palms. Inhale, lift the chest up, finding our low cobra. Squeezing the muscles of the glute, feel the muscles of the lower back engage, and then we'll exhale, slowly lower the head and the chest back down towards the floor. Great. Now, we'll extend the hands back towards the hips, palms face the sky. Allow ourselves to just soften and release here, like a belly down shavasana, resting on one cheek. Breathing steady and slow, reconnecting, feeling into the body. Great work. Now, we'll bring the hands underneath the face, elbows point out towards the sides. Resting on our forehead, on our hands, we'll take our swimmers, but just with the lower body. So we'll be alternating lifting and lowering the legs, building strength through the backs of the legs and through the lower back. So with the head resting on the hands, we'll start to alternate kicking the legs up towards the sky. Kick, 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 kick. Keeping the toes pointed towards the bottom of the mat. Feeling that engagement, squeezing through the glutes, maybe noticing you're feeling sensation through the lower back. Keep the lower belly drawing in. We'll take another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower both legs back down towards the floor. Soften and release everything down onto the mat. Give the hips a little shake from side to side. Great work. We'll let the lower body be nice and soft here. Just bringing the legs a little closer towards parallel. We'll take our swimmers with just the upper body today. So releasing the arms from underneath the head, extend the arms out nice and long on the floor. Stretch the arms out for just a moment, reaching the fingers nice and long, stretching in through the sides and the backs of the body. Now with our inhale, start to peel the chest up off the ground. We'll lift one hand up and then the other hand up. One hand to the other. So you might find that you enjoy having the hands face the floor, or you might enjoy placing the palms so that they face each other. Feel into that with your shoulders. Feeling the engagement as we lift the chest up off the floor, pedaling the arms. We have a last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hands. Lower the face, resting, relaxing, giving the hips another little shake here from side to side. Great work. I'll pull the elbows underneath the shoulders, coming into our Sphinx pose. Pushing into the forearms, lift the chest up just a little bit more, lift the gaze up towards the sky, and then we'll draw the chin down towards the chest, stretching in through the back of the neck. We'll bring the right ear towards the right shoulder and left ear towards the left shoulder, stretching in, taking those half circles. Great work. I'm starting to pause those circles, bring the gaze back to neutral. Working into our thread the needle with the arms. We'll bring the left hand in towards the center of the mat, push through that left arm. We'll inhale to reach the right arm up towards the sky. And then with the exhale, thread that right arm underneath the left, coming to rest on the right upper arm. Settling down here. Allow the head to rest on the forearm. Finding some softness here. Now I'll take a moment here in this thread the needle pose. So as an option for this position, we can take a belly down tree pose on the left side, opening the left knee out towards the left side of the mat, nice bend in that knee. No need to necessarily bring the foot towards the thigh. You can just open that knee up wherever it feels comfortable. We're getting a little bit of opening through the hips here as we stretch through the upper body and twist. Staying connected with your breath. We'll extend the left leg out again, nice and long, coming out of our belly down tree pose. Lengthening the legs out nice and long. We'll pull the left elbow underneath the left shoulder, push into that left forearm. As we inhale, release the right arm back up towards the sky. Stretching the fingers up, and then we'll place the right elbow down underneath the right shoulder. Bring the right hand in towards the center of the mat, and we'll switch sides, pushing in through that right arm. Inhale, reach the left arm up towards the sky. And exhale, thread the arm, coming to rest on the left upper arm. Resting the head down on that right arm. Again, same option for belly down tree pose on the right side. Bending that right knee out towards the right side of the mat, opening the hips. Taking those long, slow breaths. We'll begin to unwind the right leg, lengthening it out nice and long. Pulling the right elbow underneath the right shoulder, pushing into that right arm. We'll inhale to reach the left arm up, stretching up, unwinding. Great work. And then we'll place both hands back down onto the floor. We're going to roll over onto our back next, rolling over. Nice and slow, taking that pencil roll, coming to rest on our back. We'll start first by drawing the knees in towards the chest, giving ourselves a nice little hug here in our Alpanasana pose. Gentle rock from side to side, stretching out through the back body. Great work. Lower the heels down by the sitting bones. Plant the feet about hips distance apart, knees about hips distance apart. We'll take our bridge pose next, bringing the palms down by the hips, press into the feet, squeeze the muscles of the glute, draw the lower belly in, press into the palms, spread the shoulders nice and wide. With our exhale, begin to lift the hips up towards the sky. Pushing the chest up towards the sky, drawing the chin towards the chest. Keep pushing in through the feet. Keep the knees parallel to each other. So not going out towards the sides or in towards each other, but staying nice and parallel. Keep pushing. And we'll exhale, slowly lower the hips all the way back down towards the floor. Great work. We'll take one more of those. Pushing into the feet, squeeze the muscles of the glute, press into the palms, press into the shoulders. Squeeze the lower belly in, and as we exhale, begin to push the hips up towards the sky. Push the chest up. You might get a little deeper here. Shimmying shoulders underneath the back, reaching the hands underneath the hips. Extending the knuckles towards the heels, lift the chest up, keep the knees parallel to each other. Keep pushing up. Great work. With the exhale, release the bind in the hands, unwind the shoulders, lower yourself all the way back down onto the floor. Great work. We'll draw the knees back into the chest, giving ourselves that nice big hug. Gentle rock from side to side. Then we'll pause our gentle rocking. And if you have that strap nearby for our next set of movements, you can grab that now. If you find that you don't need a strap, all good as well. We'll take our strap and we'll place it at the bottom of the right foot. We'll kick the right leg up towards the sky, and the left leg will kick out and then lower it down nice and slow using the strength of our core. And we'll pause for a moment here with that right heel kicked up towards the sky. We might take a few pointings and flexings of the right foot, rolling out through the ankle or just getting some movement in the leg, stretching out through the back there. And we'll take the strap into the right hand. We'll bring the left hand to the left hip. Moving slowly with the breath, begin to open the right leg out towards the right side of the mat. Keeping the hips grounded here, keeping the shoulders grounded. So it's not about getting the foot all the way down towards the floor, but about opening the hips. So keeping those hips parallel and just allowing gravity to help open this right leg out towards the right side of the mat. Great work. We'll draw in the lower abdominal muscles with the exhale. Lift that right leg back up towards the sky. We'll grab onto the straps with both hands. With the exhale, slowly begin to lift the head and the chest up towards that right knee. Squeezing the torso in, getting a little closer. Maybe hover that left heel up off the ground. Continue to squeeze in, feel nice and strong here. And then we'll exhale, slowly lower the head and the chest back down towards the floor. We'll take the strap into the left hand, extend the right arm out towards the right side of the mat. Here you can let the left leg be nice and soft. We'll slowly lower the right leg across the body to the left side of the mat, coming into a twist. Keep the shoulders grounded this time, coming into that twist. So again, not about letting the foot touch the floor at the expense of the shoulder. Keep the shoulders grounded. That way we get more of a twist to the upper middle spine. Bringing the gaze over towards the right fingertips. We'll bring the gaze back up towards the sky, draw the lower belly in. With our exhale, lift the right leg back up towards the sky. Reflex those left toes to point towards the ceiling. Grab the straps with both hands. With the exhale, lift the head and the chest up towards that right knee, hovering the left heel again up off the floor. Great work. Slowly lower the head and the chest back down towards the ground. Draw the right knee into the chest, draw the left knee into the chest. Place the strap at the bottom of the left foot, kick the left leg up nice and long, and then extend the right leg out and then lower it down slowly with control. Taking some time here to pulse and flex those left toes. Great work. I'm pausing that movement. We'll take the strap into the left hand, place the right hand on the right hip. Moving slowly with the breath, open the left leg out towards the left side of the mat. Breathing here, nice and steady, keeping the hips grounded, keeping the shoulders grounded, gazing at the sky. Stay connected with your breath, with the sensations that you're experiencing. Great work. We'll draw the lower abdominal muscles in. With the exhale, lift that left heel back up towards the sky. Grabbing the straps with both hands. With the exhale, lift the head and the chest up towards that left knee. Maybe hovering the right heel up off the ground. Squeezing in. And then exhale, slowly lower the head and the chest back down towards the floor. Take the strap into the right hand. Extend the left arm out towards the left side of the mat. Moving slowly again with the breath. Lower the left leg across the body. Let the right leg be nice and soft here. Let the belly be soft. Just keep those shoulders grounded and gaze over the left shoulder. Great work. We'll bring the gaze back up towards the sky. Draw the lower belly in. With the exhale, lift the left heel back up towards the sky. Flex the right toes towards the ceiling. Grab the straps with both hands. With the exhale, lift the head and the chest up towards that left knee. Maybe again, hover the right heel. Lift up, reaching. Great work. We'll exhale, slowly lower the head and the chest back down onto the floor. Release the strap from the left leg. Lower the leg out again, nice and long. We'll be starting to come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Taking some time here, get yourself nice and comfortable. Open the legs wide as the mat or wider, allowing the toes to fall out towards the outer edges of the mat. Hands come down by the sides, palms face the ceiling. Little tuck of the shoulders underneath you. A gentle drawing down of the chin towards the chest, our little yogic double chin. Take a nice deep breath. And then slowly as you exhale, release everything down into the mat. Relax the forehead. Relax the jaw. Relax the neck. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. Relax your hands. Relax your chest. Relax your belly. Relax your hips. Relax your thighs. Relax your legs. Relax your feet. Relax your toes. Allow your breath to move naturally in and out of the body. Feeling relaxed and supported by the floor. And just bring a little bit of movement back into your fingers and your toes. Taking some nice deeper breaths here, starting to come back to our mat. We'll take some larger movements in the body, stretching the arms out nice and long. Draw the knees into the chest. We'll give ourselves a nice big hug here. Pulling the knees in tight. Gentle rock from side to side. And as you're ready, we'll make our way over onto our side body, resting for a moment in a fetal position. Taking this time to feel a sense of gratitude towards yourself for prioritizing your health and your wellness. And as you're ready, we'll slowly, gently begin to make our way back into a comfortable seated position, helping ourselves up. You might keep the eyes closed or the gaze softly lowered. Thank you all so much for your practice today. We'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. The light in me sees and honors the light in you all. Namaste.